to kind of trickle in here a little bit. But I'm alive. God, today was rough. Rough day. As you can tell, my hair, I don't really care. I don't even care about my appearances today. It's one of these things that when you've had a day like I've had, which has not been a bad day, it's actually been a pretty good day overall. It's just how it worked out with um so you might read the title and go, what does that even mean? Well, like today, I I was riding off of zero sleep. Zero. Like so me and my dad left here because I had to drive him to the airport in Calgary. Um a journey that normally would take a little over an hour took us about 2 hours. So okay, fine. But we left here at 2:30 in the morning. Didn't get there till 4:30. But the roads were just dreadful. Like I'm in my Mustang, and because I mean I could drive a Mustang through just about any condition. It doesn't bother me really. Other people are like, "Whoa, you shouldn't do that." I'm like, I actually am more confident in my car versus say my dad's Magnum, which is an '05 SXT all-wheel drive. And it's just one of those deals where because I know my car so well that when I get into a slide, I know how to correct it. Because again, I've played with my car a lot and I know the car extremely well. So there's that. Um, you know, and like right now, because I was able to get some sleep when I got back here, I just literally as soon as I got home, I just kind of crashed in my bed, which I woke up with both my the cats with me, so that was nice. But yeah, that was really rough because and then there was a delay when it came to stuff because my dad packed too big of a bag to fit on the plane. So had to schedule a later flight and I had to drive him to Walmart, which fun fact, um, the Walmarts in Calgary didn't open till 7 a.m. We were around there at about 6. So yeah, that kind of sucked. But oh well, that's not in the world. So we're sitting in the parking lot at about 6:30 in the morning, waiting for them to open. And my dad was able to get some sleep at that point, but I couldn't. Um, I tried, but I couldn't. So I just like screw it. I'm just gonna watch more Walking Dead on my phone because I have Netflix, and it's one of those things. I've been rewatching The Walking Dead. But so I go out, or I didn't even leave the car. I let him go do that whole journey in there. I just stayed in the car. I'm just like I'm not getting up. I'm just too tired. I'm still too tired. But after that, um, I drove him back to the airport again. And it's so funny how many times I went sideways on this journey is hilarious because like the roads were just dreadful, like just awful, awful, awful conditions this morning. They got a lot better later on in the day when I was driving on them again, but it was like in the morning. Oh my god, just wee sliding all over the place. It was kind of fun to a certain degree, but yeah, and actually I do have a point of view video that's a little different because it's a time lapse of basically me driving from Calgary to there's this gas station on the QE2, and then from there to Olds, and then there's gonna be like a 30-second clip of me eating Dairy Queen. Which in the video you can see me get brain freeze and everything. It should be fun, I don't know how many views that video is gonna get or anything, but it should be fun, right? Oh my god, it's just yeah. Like, do I like so for anyone out there that is if all they have are classic cars and they're like, okay, should I drive this in this weather or whatever? it's honestly how you know your car, what it's going to do, and also if you have the correct tires. Because tires make all the difference in the world, like even my car, because I have Nittos on the car, and my god, those Nittos are freaking amazing. I can put the car into a full slide and come out of it every single time. And because like it's my '81 Mustang, with the T5 swap, which and also like manual transmissions, you have a lot more control. Because there was a lot of the time too where I had to slow down, but I didn't want to press the brakes because of how bad the roads were. So I just downshift the car, and it works out great. So we'll see. Hey, fat cat. But and it was just that whole sort of journey today was just not fun. It's one of those deals where I like if I had a regular amount of sleep, would have been fine. But it was just one of these things when his flight was so early, had to get up early, all that jazz. I'm sure you know how that goes if you've ever flown before. And yeah, I couldn't get to sleep the night before. Then finally, after I got back here, I was able to go to my room, and I got 4 hours of sleep, and then I woke back up, and it's like, oh, okay. I just got a text, like, that was at 5:30. I got a text from my dad saying he's back on the plane again, which is great. Because like, I was gonna offer like, my dad that we could go to my bestie's place, because she said it wouldn't have been a problem, but to go there and basically we could just kind of rest for a bit, and then I can drive you back to the airport again. But he elected just to be like, oh, don't worry about it. I'll just stick at the airport for a few hours. I'm like, okay, that's fine. It gave me the opportunity to go home. Because I was thinking of going down to a place called Cheadle, because there's an auction down there, and there's some vehicles I want to check out there, like on behalf of a friend of mine. But unfortunately, it was just the roads this morning did not invoke confidence to go down there. However, after the roads kind of cleared up, the my sort of sleep, I was just like, okay, I'm way too tired for this. This is dumb. It's dangerous, and you should never drive tired like that, like very very tired. Now, once I got food in me, I was okay. Like, and that's one thing with me when it comes to if I have zero sleep, because I actually run better off of zero sleep than as opposed to just a little bit of sleep. It's very odd. But there are some other people like that. And it's one of those deals where as long as I get energy into me, as in food, I'm pretty well off when it comes to that. So we shall see. And like, and this tank of gas is gonna be dreadful because there's so much idling with the car. And I don't like to idle my car too much, but it just kind of happened today because of just the situations we were put in. So yeah, but Team No Sleep driving Foxbodies in awful conditions was a success. Not intentional for No Sleep, but that's how it went. And yeah, like, cause I could have taken my dad's Magnum, but I don't like driving his car. To be honest, I like driving my car, and I don't know his car. Like, because the Magnum, that's one of the vehicles I actually sort of learned to drive on. Like, so the first car I properly drove with my at the time it was my learner's license, was my dad's Saturn SC2. Good little car, and it could have been my first car, but I just didn't want it due to the fact that like the thing sat way too low. It was very uncomfortable, but it got really good gas mileage. If it was a stick, I may have decided to say screw it and keep it, but nah, just got rid of that. And so, I mean, but my channel would be very, very different if I had a Saturn as opposed to a Mustang. Right? So, yeah, then after that, it was my dad's first Magnum that I drove for a while. And that one was okay, but like I don't drive his cars very often anymore because I have my own. So it's one of those things where I don't know how they're gonna exactly handle some things and that's the one thing where if you're driving somebody else's car, you do want to drive a little more cautiously until you learn the car and know that you're gonna be good on the other side. And now his car, like SXT all-wheel drive Magnum, so it has a 3.5 V6, 250 horsepower, and all-wheel drive, but it's heavier, quite a bit heavier than my car, and his brakes are not that great because they need to be fixed, which we will fix his brakes eventually. But he also needs, like, very soon going to need a timing belt and a water pump, and there's going to be suspension work right away here because he's not that mileage on those things where they just all like they decide that, hey, yeah, by the way, I'm going to start deteriorating on you. Because like right around 160 to 100, like 180,000 kilometers, everything starts to go all at once. It's really annoying in those cars. Like compared to say my car, where it was designed for these parts to last as long as they could. So there are times when, like on my car, for example, the tie rods on the front of the car, only the passenger ones have been replaced. The driver ones have not. They're still the originals. Um, and it just goes to show you, like, parts in the past were designed, like, just built to last. Newer parts aren't. They're designed to kind of deteriorate and need to be replaced at certain intervals. Right? Now, of course, like time belts and stuff like that is a little different. Because those should always be changed in a timely fashion when it comes to mileage and year-wise. Which my dad's almost at the mileage, and he's definitely at the years. So, because I know that still the original time belt in that car, and the car's from 2005. So, yeah, it's one of those things. We're in 2023. But it does go to show you, though, like, because, like, timing belts, for the most part, they don't, like, they can age and whatever else, but for the most part, they're not too bad. And, like, and that's something that I don't know if we'll tackle ourselves with the timing belt. We might just farm that one out. But, like, his brakes we'll probably do ourselves. Or at least, I shouldn't say ourselves with me and my dad, it'd be me and Keith. Because I'd just drive his car up to Edmonton and we'll just fix it there. Yeah, so, it's one of those deals where I am, honestly, I'm just happy of where, like, and especially how my car is running and all that stuff. Although, I need to swap that carburetor, and it has nothing actually to do with how it runs. It runs fantastic with that car. I have no gripes with that Motorcraft carb. However, there is one issue. It comes down to the fact that I cannot turn down my idle to where it should be. Because with the automatic, I needed it right around 1,000 to 1,100 RPM. Although it should have been lower than that, but because of where I have my timing, I needed to turn the idle up with the automatic. So not a big deal, because I have the timing set to 15 degrees initial advance. I don't know what the total is. I'm going to assume it's around 32 or 33, but I'll have to get it on the dyno one of these days and figure that out. And figure out what it's actually making for power. Because I'm pretty sure, especially after something that might be happening here soon, that car might be getting a header. Not right away, but pretty soon. And we'll see how much of a difference it makes with the car. Because I still have not gotten baseline numbers with the T5 yet. Roads have just been not good enough. And also, like, my app has been bugging out on me. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. Because it's just the GPS in it. And I think I saw Charles say hi. So, hi back. Hope you're having a fantastic evening. I know that I kind of am. I'm just really tired. Like, I could go to bed and sleep right now, but I'm going to wait until about 10, maybe even midnight. Then I'm going to pass out. So that if I do that, then my sleep schedule will go back into a proper rhythm. Which that's the one nice thing. If I get zero sleep like I did, is that if I just try and stay up as best as I can, then I'm good. And it's just yeah, it's one of those things, and like it was quite the adventure driving Stitch through Calgary because again, it was just how bad the roads were. There was almost no traffic, which was nice. But that's what happens when you drive through there at 2:30 in the morning. Although something, um, when I dropped my dad off for the second time at the airport, there was a security guard that was eyeing my car, and he talks to my dad as I drop him off, and he comes up to my window. So I roll down the window. I'm just like, hi, and he's just like, hey, I admire your car, or whatever. Would you sell it? I'm like, no, this car's not for sale. And he's just like, well, like, what does that have for an engine, whatever else? And I told him, like, it's 296. And he's just like, oh, you should put, in, like, a 1J Z in it. I'm going, like, I didn't say that to him, but I'm going, why would you put a 1J if 2Js exist, And 2Js are actually easier to find, to be honest. And if you do it right, you can get one out of an IS300 for not a terrible amount of money. Yes, that's the non-turbo, that's VVTi, but still, it's honestly a good little engine, right? You can still turbo them. It's just you can't push them near as hard as the actual turbo variants, which is the GTE versus the GE. And yeah, so we started talking about that a little bit, because he's looking for I guess he's looking for a Foxbody to kind of modify, and it's just like, no, this one's not for sale. That car is my baby. It's my rock. I will never ever sell my girl, ever. Right? So that's one of those deals that I have, like, that somebody wanted to buy my car today. I should have, just for shits and giggles, asked, well, how much do you want to pay for it? And not that I would ever sell the car, just to see what he thinks it's worth, which I know, like, because the thing is, that car is actually worth quite a bit of money, or can potentially be. The once the body work is kind of done on the car, it'll be so much better, so much better. But yeah, we'll see. Like the body work and paint, and then the interior will have to be cleaned up a bit, but really it won't be too bad. And some of the things I have in mind for the car, because like there's so much stuff I still want to do to the car. Like there's a lot. So we'll see if it all comes to fruition or not, right? And like, a lot of it should. A lot of it's not too bad, and a lot of it does not cost me a ton of money in the end. Because like, stuff that's up next, because I did mention it in a video, but I'll say it here. I have a GT bumper cover from an 82 that I do want to put on the car. It's just the extension with the fender extensions as well. So, but it's cracked on the one support, so we need to figure out a way to fix that. And it's just annoying because of how it is. As soon as that went, all the unsprung weight just, has made it separate. So to try and glue it together in some fashion, like whether it's JB Weld or whether we try to do plastic welding or whatever, it's just a pain in the ass because of that. It's one thing if it like, oh, it only needs to go like this far. No, it needs to go like that far because of, just how it's separated. And, because once that's done, and then we can paint it, mount it on the car, and then as well, my buddy's actually working out a deal to potentially get a header off of another engine that happens to be 200 inline-6 that will bolt on my car and see the performance gains so much. And I can't wait for that, to be honest, because I've heard that one of the best things you can do to these inline-6s is get rid of that stock cast iron manifold and throw on a header. So fingers crossed that all works out. But yeah, well, unfortunately, I'm not really getting any interaction with the chat. It says I have 0 viewers currently. So if you watched this video for this long, I definitely appreciate it. Thank you so much. I am looking forward to doing some more live streams in the future. So again, stay tuned for that. Yeah, and I can't wait to show you what's coming next to the car. So anyways, hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, please like the video, comment anything you want to see down below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, you know the whole spiel. Anyways, I love you all. Thank you all so much for supporting me, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!